What's up, you guys? I wanted to have a little rant here. The psych ward poisons people. They inject them, they give them pills, they force pills on them. And what gets them in the psych hospital, some of these people, is because they've got dirt on cops, they've got stories to tell. And when they come out to tell their story, no one's going to believe them because they wrote them off as a schizophrenic, bipolar, psychotic disorder, or they type up a lie at the courtroom to make them look like they're a lunatic or a psycho. And what it is people build up a bunch of anger of being mistreated, and then they snap. I grew up in the LD, learning disability classes. I was a foster child for about 7 to 8 years, from all the way up until I was 18, and then I signed out. So it was around 11 or 12. And just being treated like a dog, an animal in foster homes. Feed me, clothe me, that's it. I had video games, I had clothes. But the thing is, I didn't have a parent to sit down and tell me, this is what to look out for. Had to wait for Tokyo Drift to go by so you could hear me. I have been mistreated, and when it comes to women, you can be set up by women. Women can screw your mind up, screw your head up. The court systems allow these women to be prostitutes and whores. Okay? And when men, poor men that are slaves, felons, slaves, and they work, they have it designed and set up for them. Yeah, they pay rent, they pay utilities, and then they pay fines. And then that's it. Their whole entire life is going to be just paying rent, utilities, and fines. Never own a house. You know what I mean? You're beating a dead horse. You know what I mean? These rich kids that grew up in good homes, they get to join the military. They get to they went to school. They grew up in elementary school, middle school, high school with the same group of kids, and they get comfortable. They've never been tossed around like a beanbag, moving from home to home to home to home, never get settled in. Do you know what that could do to somebody? It's not easy. Then these gangs that sell drugs. And maybe you're somebody like me that's sick of it because you know that the military and the government is in on it. It's the military and government on the sex trafficking and drug trafficking. They want everybody to be focused on black and white, this racist stuff, the coronavirus, this and that. But nobody talks about the Mexicans. No one talks about the illegal immigrants anymore. I mean, they did. Gangs use women to rob men, set men up, beat them up, jump them, and then the cops throw the guy away that put him in jail for fighting back to a pimp, to a prostitute. And who are these pimps? Who's the real sex offender? People that work at barber shops, gas stations, they're drug dealers and sex traffickers. They work in businesses. These guys with money. They pay women and give women drugs for exchange for sex and to use them as informants. The court systems, cops, and the things that I've seen, my assistant manager was buying drugs off of a cop. There's other things, you know what I mean? But they're going to say, oh, he's crazy, he don't know what he's talking about. They consider you stupid if you can't read a book. They consider you stupid if you can't do algebra. They consider you stupid if you're not book smart. But you got to realize, these rich men that are millionaires, that are taking poor women out of the hood to New York or to a rich area, these people literally come out. It's sex trafficking. They come from rich areas like New York out here to like the city of Warren, Ohio, Newton Falls areas. They round up these women. They're army guys. They're rich guys, whatever. They come into the ghetto. They round up the women, take them to the Trump Tower or take them to the rich area and turn them into porno stars, But then we got poor men that are out here suffering with no job. They're felons. They want to throw them in prison because they want this whole world to be just nothing but prostitutes and rich men. And then all the poor men, lock them up in prison and make them into slaves. And then they want to say it's, it's a black thing, it's this and that. And I'm white, and and I've been mistreated by the court systems. White guys get mistreated by the court systems. With that said, over and out, the psych ward poisons people to try to fuck their brain up to where they can't function in a normal society. And the real sex offender is porno. Kids with cell phones watching porno. Porno videos showing men molesting women in their sleep. Pornos are the sex offenders. They pollute your mind to being sexually disgusting, and it's okay for women to be perverts and sell their bodies on social media. And then men, poor men, have no options of sex because the price of sex is too fucking expensive. So with that said, over and out.